you say hello.
Okay, all right. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Hello, family and friends.
Why don't you say
Okay. Hello, family and friends and fellow YouTubers. It's Kim here, and
I'm here.
And who are you?
Stephen Jeffrey Kendrick.
And we are getting ready to do what?
Feed the birds.
And
Did the fish?
To the other ones?
Yes.
All right. Let me go get the camera. Check our friends along. You gonna pull?
Yes.
All right. Hang on. Let me get our friends. All right. It'll be nice when we can sit back outside and look at the garden, won't it? You got a big old snowdrift, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Hang on, Grandma will help you. Hello, friends. It's Kim here from Kim's Country Corner. And today, as you can see, as you're going to see, I have my grandkids out for a visit. And we're just going to show you some things that we're going to do today. And I hope you enjoy the fun. So let's go. Hello, friends. I know it's been a while, but we've all been under this COVID-19 isolation period. But Karen decided the kids needed a change of scenery. So she brought them out to the farm today so they can play. And Emma is over here watering my flowers.
My turn. My turn.
And she and her brother Jeffrey are taking turns. And we're all staying outside because Pop John still works in public. And he still has to be isolated from us.
My turn.
My flowers are coming up nicely, aren't they? Guys, you're supposed to water flowers, not dirt. You water dirt and you just make mud.
And here.
Yep. Can you get it that far, Jeffrey?
Sure.
So this is, you know, is my cottage garden. You've seen it before with the old pump. My plants are starting to come up nicely. Have some Asiatic Lilies, bee balm, two different kinds of coneflowers. The coneflowers in the front are short coneflowers that will be a deep red. Coneflowers in the back are tall coneflowers that will be a deep red. So two different kinds of reds going on here. I have my Hummingbird Feeders out and ready to go. I have not seen a hummingbird yet, but I've been told that they're in Missouri and they should be up this way soon. Red daylilies coming in. And then on this side it's just a repeat. I have the short red coneflowers, the tall red coneflowers, the red bee balm, and then these are powwow wildberry coneflowers, and they're kind of a dark pink. My irises are leafing out nicely. John did some heavy-duty pruning to the apple trees. Let's go where I'm not shooting into the sun. Okay, so one of the first things I want to mention is our new center point, and that is the old push plow. The old push plow used to just lay up against the house, and I thought it deserved its own special place of honor, considering it broke the land here for many, many years. This is the way they used to do it. They'd hook that push plow up to a team of mules, and they would plow the whole 160 acres with a push plow and a team of mules. And now they had those great big tractors to do the work. course, I have to have my bird feeders. Then we have the old pump up here at the beginning, and yes, that pump does work. If you look at past videos, you'll see that the grandkids love to pump it and play with it. Now, my flowers here do not have any blooms yet. You can tell that they're just about ready to bloom. However, if you look back at the April video, the April walk around compared to this May walk around, you will see that they have all grown by inches. Leaps and bounds, as they would say. Just beautiful. Then we have some coneflowers, bee balm, more coneflowers, and all of these flowers here will be red. This is kind of my red themed garden. Back here I'm going to try my hand at butterfly bushes again. This is called a black knight. It gets very deep dark purple blooms, almost black, and it's supposed to be hardier. And she also told me to plant it up on a mound because butterfly bushes do not like wet roots. They're susceptible to root rot. So, I have tried this. Cross my fingers, I hope it works. Alright, and then I have some red Asiatic lilies coming up there. And then again over here on this side. And these are my daylilies here in the front, and they will be red. These are my hick yews. And one of these days I really want to trim these hick yews so that they make an arch going over my Mary. A natural arch. Okay, and then on this side I have the same flowers planted as on the other side. I should also mention that the kids came out one day and we planted zinnias along the fence line. A new flower I've tried this year is the Cardinal Flower. I have a single hollyhock coming up back here. It's the only one that survived from last year. And I'm hoping it grows nice and big and strong, gives me a flower, so it will put out lots more seeds. It's supposed to be red also. Beautiful, just beautiful irises. Alright, and then as we walk down the hill, if you watched the video, I had put in a red tiger lily bed. I was able to get more dirt added to it. It's supposed to have 6 to 8 inches of dirt. But those will be red tiger lilies there someday. And then over here I have some winter green boxwoods. The winter greens are supposed to be very hardy, and I needed hardy plants over here on this north side of the fence. As you can tell, our yard slopes down. We actually had to build up the dirt there to get the garden somewhat level, but it does have a natural slope to it. So here on this north slope I put these boxwoods. And then where the tiger lily bed is at, the red tiger lilies, there used to be these orange daylilies. These orange daylilies were given to us by a neighbor. They're not tiger lilies, but they're an orange daylily, and they're beautiful. And so I decided to put them over here on the north side of this fence. They're very hardy, and this north side of the fence has not had much on it. I've been concentrating on the south side of the fence. So now I'm putting some of the extra plants over here on the north side. Okay, so now we're at the cottage garden, or my hummingbird garden, or my red garden. You'll hear me refer to it by many names. We have the old plow, which is the way they used to plow this land, this very farm. The old pump, which still works. I finally got my brother's Christmas present out. He gave me that red barn this year for Christmas. It's a solar light, and I finally got it out. He had given me this red barn one year for Christmas. It's a bird feeder. And then He had given me that cornstalk, metal cornstalk that he and my sister had found at a county fair. So this is my little display area. So the first flowers I want to show you are my yellow Asiatic Lilies. These were the very first flowers I put in this garden. I saw these at a farm and home and just fell in love with them. Our local farm and home had them one year, 5 years ago. And I fell in love with them and had to have them. And I just love the way the crimson red pops out of that yellow petal. So those were my very first flowers in this garden. And then behind them I have some powwow berry coneflowers that have spread from other parts of the garden. So I just brought them down here. And then behind them we have some cosmos, which are an annual. They have not flowered yet. They're those feathery leaf flowers back there. And then back in the back we have some zinnias that my grandson helped plant. And then there's my butterfly bush. It's still growing, and it even has a little purple flower. This is called the Black Knight butterfly bush. And then in front of it we have some fireball bee balm. And we even have a bee visiting. Fireball bean balm. And then on this side I have some hot papaya coneflowers. And they're probably one of my favorites because of how bright red they are. The hot papaya is that bright red, and then I love the way that some of the petals droop. And then in front of the hot papaya I have salsa red, which are a shorter variety of coneflower. My flowers are just at their peak right now. They're just so beautiful. And then moving on down, I have my hick yews as a backdrop for my Mary. Then these have yet to bloom, but these will be, pardon me, red daylilies. That's the name of them, pardon me. And they'll be red. Same thing on this side. And then I have Asiatic Lilies. And they're usually have all their petals dropped by now, but because of the spring weather, they're hanging on. So, some more hot papayas. Whatever I have planted on that side, I repeated over here on this side. So I have my hot papaya red coneflowers. More fireball bee balm. I just deadheaded this batch, but as you can see there's more blooms coming on. Another butterfly bush, which I also had just deadheaded. And then back here are the zinnias that my granddaughter helped planted. My grandson did one side and my granddaughter did the other. They haven't bloomed yet. They have little bloom heads coming on, but no flowers just yet, but they'll be flowering any day. And this Black Knight butterfly bush has new flowers coming on too. These will be a short zinnia. I planted them kind of late, so they're still doing some work there. Here is the batch of powwow berry coneflowers that just spread like crazy. Then back here are the Cardinal Flowers that I just put in this year to hopefully attract more hummingbirds. I have not seen many hummingbirds this year. I had a couple this spring and now they're gone again. But the Cardinal Flowers are very pretty back there. They are a native to Missouri. Then my one lone hollyhock. But oh my goodness, isn't she pretty? Look how pretty this hollyhock is. I just love hollyhocks. And I think one of the reasons I love them is because of how old-fashioned they are. And as you can see, I have a lot more flower heads coming on to bloom. And I'm hoping that this fall I can collect seed, spread the seed, and have more hollyhocks. But she's a beauty. She is queen of the garden this year. I'm going to crown her queen of my garden this year. And this sunflower, this volunteer sunflower is going to be a beauty too. Look how big that thing is getting. Of course, the irises are finished. This here is Lady's Mantle that I have growing out of the bricks. Some more volunteer sunflowers that I'm just letting grow. Here are the red tiger lilies that you guys saw me plant. Has some sunflowers getting ready to bloom. That one over there's got multiple heads. I just love it. It's so pretty with the pump there. The cosmos have really shot up. Here are the zinnias my grandson planted. Beautiful. My butterfly bush is looking good. My hot papaya coneflowers are doing well. It doesn't look as thick as it did in the last video because I took out a plant and gave to my daughter. Red daylilies are looking pretty. I stole some daylilies to give to my daughter for my granddaughter and grandson's gardens. This hot papaya I had to tie up because they were just getting so long and straggly. They were falling all over the place. But they're just beautiful. And then these are the zinnias my granddaughter planted. She was out the other day and was so happy because she had pink ones. I meant to get a picture. Try to get a picture and add the grandkids in here. My other butterfly bush is doing well. I'm seeing lots of butterflies visiting, so that's good. Bee balm. Short variety of zinnias there. Cardinal Flower. It is really the hummingbird attractor. There's the Hummingbird Feeder, and these are the Cardinal Flowers, and the hummingbirds are at the Cardinal Flowers way more than even the feeders. So, excellent plant for hummingbirds. My hollyhock has a couple of new flowers on it. There's one way up here. There's a beautiful sunflower. Sunflowers are all volunteer. And then here is the surprise, guys. These are the Tiger Lilies, which I didn't think were going to bloom this year because sometimes I read that sometimes it takes a year before they will bloom. But there they are. And they are looking awesome down here. And they are really the big hummingbird attractor too. These are the very pretty and unique orange daylilies that our neighbors had given us one year. I just think they're very unique with their frilly petals. This will be another multi-head sunflower. I think I'm going to have to give everything a good watering to keep it going through the last part of August here. So here is the cottage garden, hummingbird garden. These cosmos still have not flowered. I don't even see any flower buds on them, so I don't know what's up with those cosmos. But anyway, I usually have a really good stand. I thought I put them in about the same time I do every year, but I'm not seeing a single flower. The zinnias that my grandkids planted, they're looking good. My butterfly bush, I am so happy with them. They really took off and are doing well. And I just love the color of these. This is that black night. See if I can get it where y'all can see it. And it is just beautiful. And the butterflies are loving them. They're loving the zinnias too. The zinnias and the butterfly bush, big hits with the butterflies. Those Coneflowers were at their end, so I came out one day and just deadheaded them. These I'm letting go to seed, so I'll be sprinkling those seeds in there to make a bigger, larger planting. I have one little bitty daylily left. Look at that. Look at her. She is hanging on for the end of it. Isn't she pretty? All the rest of them are gone. I gave 2 big batches to my daughter to put in my grandkids' garden. They needed to be thinned out anyway. This is what that other this is what the other Coneflowers were looking like. So I had gone ahead and deadheaded them, and these need to be deadheaded too. But I haven't got around to all of them. Once again, the butterfly bush and the zinnias over here, big butterfly attractors. These here are some zinnias that I tried from Park Seed. They're supposed to be miniature, what were they called? Miniature something. And I thought that was supposed to be the size of the plant. But as you can tell, they got just as tall as the giants back there. But I guess the flower is not as big. So maybe that's where the name miniature came in. But they have been really big butterfly attractors. So there is zinnia, and they have just been loaded with butterflies this year. My powwow berry coneflowers, as you can tell, they're going to seed. These cardinal red flowers that I put in this year, they have really been worth their money for attracting the hummingbirds. The hummingbirds love them. And since they're a native to Missouri, they're going to be very easy to grow and reproduce. My hollyhocks are finished for the year. They're putting out nice new green leaf down there. But as you can see, the flower stem is gone. I'm letting them seed up. And then I'm going to try to spread the seed down there in that area. So the sunflowers are done, but the birds have been in there clearing out all the seeds. That's why I don't put out bird seed in the summer, because I grow sunflowers instead. And as you can see, there's a few seeds left in there, but the goldfinches especially have just been in there clearing those seed heads out. All of my red Tiger Lilies are finished for the year, but man, they were a beauty while they lasted. Beautiful red Tiger Lilies in there. And no, my garden is not perfectly weeded, but from what I understand, that's actually a good thing for the insects and the butterflies. My boxwood have taken off. I did come through and weed out some of this along this fence line, and I put down cardboard and straw. My cosmos friends never did put on a flower this year. And I don't know if they're going to. I can't figure that out. I mean, it looks like there's a little bit of flower bud up there. My zinnias did well though. We still have some really pretty ones. My grandson planted these. Ooh, this one's big. I am so happy with the butterfly bush. It really did well. I mean, look how big that thing got. And these blooms are just beautiful. That dark purple. Coneflowers are finished up. No daylilies left. These zinnias are beautiful. I love zinnias, and these did so well this year. They are absolutely beautiful. I'm trying to think of what the name of these are. I think they're called giant reds or something like that. But I mean, just look how perfect that is. And then next to the purple, it's just really pretty next to that purple. There's a pretty one. These zinnias did nicely. The problem is they got so tall that they crowded out my bee balm down there and my coneflowers down here. So I probably will, I have a lot of seeds left over, and I will probably plant again next year, but I will be picking a different spot because they're way too tall for the front of the border here. Look how pretty those zinnias are. These Cardinal Flowers did well, but they are gone now. So I'll be scraping off these seeds, hoping to produce more. And I'm actually thinking about taking some of these seeds and putting them up at the other end to see if I can start some up there. Hollyhocks are finished for the year. They're putting out nice new green leaf down there. But as you can see, the flower stem is gone. I'm letting them seed up. And then I'm going to try to spread the seed down there in that area. So the sunflowers are done, but the birds have been in there clearing out all the seeds. We've already taken 3 great big buckets to work for a friend of his. But as you can see, we still have a ton more. And I plan to be processing apples this weekend. That is my goal for Sunday. Doesn't everything just look so bountiful? I just love fall whenever it's time to bring in all the produce from the gardens, the tomatoes, the peppers, the apples, our eggs, which of course we get all through the year, the flowers. You know, it just makes me so happy to see all of these things that I helped God and nature bring about to life. You know, I thought these wintergreen boxwoods would be nice up here. I had them in the front of the fence over here as a second row of boxwoods, but I had planted them too close to the first row. So they were going to have to be dug up and moved over anyway. So I thought, well, if I'm going to dig them up and move them, I'd rather have them up here for this winter. So that is what I have done, is remove the sunflowers, and now I'm going to get ready to dig up and divide these irises. So let me get these dug. Hello family and friends and fellow YouTubers, it's Kim here from Kim's Country Corner, and it is time for the October walk around. I have a gloomy day today, but it is October, so. Alright, as you can see, I've been getting some seeds into the bird feeders. Okay guys, look at this. These cosmos, which I've been waiting all year to bloom, has finally bloomed in October. I don't know why they were so late this year. They'll usually start blooming like July and bloom all the way through October. But this year, they didn't start blooming until October. But oh, what beautiful blooms. And what a nice bright color for this gloomy, gloomy cottage garden right now. As you guys can see, I have new stone edging. I did a video on how I put those in, along with some tulips and daffodils. I left up a few of the zinnias on both sides. There's some zinnias over there. If they had blooms, I went ahead and left them on because I have been seeing the birds out here. I'm very happy with the way my butterfly bushes did this year. I really hope they continue to do well for me in the following years. I'm hoping that I end up with more hollyhock from seed spread. John's doing some work for me on a bird feeder. That's what you're hearing. So on this side, the boxwoods are doing good. And in these empty spots here, I've got down cardboard and straw so that next spring I can put something in there. And then up here, more cardboard and straw.